What's going on, guys? My name is Restless Corpse. Welcome back to Ark on the Sandbox Survivors server. Now, I realize I have not done a video in a long time, and I do apologize for that, but there is a good reason, and we'll get into that a little bit later. But there's something that I guess I need to do today, since it's been a while, and that is actually something that's going to make me a little bit of sad. So, let's get to it. Now, look at it, guys. Look at all that. And all of this. It's a great base, you know, and I had a lot of fun making it, but I need to move. I need to leave this area, and I need to make a base somewhere else, because this beast has gotten away from me. Now, there are a lot of metal railings here. There are a lot of stone ceilings and a lot of stone pillars, and it is just very difficult to navigate this base because the game tries to eat itself every time I even turn the camera. And if you remember, the only reason I really made it this way is because this place is dangerous, and it's very, very, very dangerous and difficult to live in without taking steps to like curb the danger here. and it was easy to do. It did take a lot of time, but it was relatively easy to do, and it was fun to do. But it creates like a ridiculous server load. There's super lag and load anytime you come over here, and I need to have a base somewhere that I don't have to take so many security precautions, such as making a pen for every single dinosaur. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move to a less inhospitable area and remake the base there. And I have some plans for that base. I'm going to make it a little bit more like artsy. I'm gonna, you know, concentrate more on the building, because that's what I love about these games, is building and stuff. And I'm gonna make a really cool just single base. You know, one of the biggest problems of this base is that it's just so huge and it's impossible to keep safe. And look at all this area that I'm not using, and you know, I could use it. Because I do have plans for taming a ridiculous amount of dinosaurs, but it's not feasible for one person. Like, if this was a community base, it would be different, because we'd have a lot of people here all the time, you know, building in different spots to keep it a little bit more safe, to keep dinos from spawning. But no matter what I do, cannot keep this place clear. And the only thing that I can do to keep this place clear is to build more on it. And that's just going to increase the problem. So what we're going to do is, not today, and not in this video, you can see the weird like hiccups and frame rate issues just flying around this base. I'm going to start building another base somewhere else, and when I get it to a point where I can house my dinos in it, I'm going to move all my dinos there, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to destroy the entire base and return it to nature or whatever. You know what I mean? I do have a plan for an area that I think would be pretty cool. It's relatively flat. It's on the edge of the snow, because I love the snow area. It's my favorite part of the map, and I can't get away from it, no matter how hard I try. But I think it'll be a little better. It'll be a little bit less crazy, and I won't have to go through such drastic steps to keep it safe. Here it is, ladies and gentlemen. This is where the new base is going to be. Now, I kind of avoided making a base over here initially because I wanted my base to be in the snow. This is going to be on the edge of the snow. I guess part of it will be. See this island right here? I'm going to clear this island off, and this is where I'm going to make like the main house. And what I'm going to do is put the walls straight back. It's going to be just one big boring rectangle. The walls are going to come back over here, swing around to here. Oh, I'm still getting kind of like crazy lag. Swing around here, and then, you know, probably cross this, because I want this little stream included, and come back out here. And it's just going to be like a fraction of the size of the original base. But I think it's going to be cool because most of this land is flat, and while it is relatively dangerous, I'm sure that I can curb the spawns on this side, because this side is relatively tame until you get over to this part right over, or this part right over here, and uh, I'm pretty sure that the walls will be able to keep all these guys out. I'm going to put plant species X's and stuff like that. And the reason that I want to keep it here is because it's, first of all, we come over here and just look out this way, which the house will be looking out toward that way. It's a great view, just this area. It's still close to that mountain, and that mountain's actually where I've been getting a lot of my metal, because some of the high-end metal nodes spawn on that one. You know, the ones that look more metal than rock. A lot of those spawn over here. We've got metal just right out here in some places, and I've still got all the oil and silica pearls that I could ever want. And just on the other side of the walls, we'll be able to get rocks and wood. I think it'll be a good build, or a good build area, but I'll just have to clear it out. And it'll still be kind of frontier, which is what I liked about the old base. Like I really like the idea that I had built a base in a difficult place, and I was essentially playing like Ark hard mode over there. But it got to be too much. It's part of the reason why I hadn't been doing any videos, because it seemed like every time I logged in, I had to do, you know, maintenance instead of actually playing the game, which is the biggest reason that I'm moving the base, because I would really rather just play the game rather than keep up my base. I mean, that's what you got to deal with a personal base. Like I said, if it was a community base and we had a whole bunch of people over there doing things, then it wouldn't be that bad. But the area is just too inhospitable with the cold and whatnot for new players, and getting to the area would be difficult for new players and stuff like that. So, alas, it was not a community base material, and to be honest, it wasn't even really like personal base material. But I'm not going to start construction on the base in this video. I wanted to keep this video relatively short, because this is the first video that I've been recording in, I think, about 2 weeks or so. I did promise you guys an explanation as to why I have not been around, and I do feel that I owe it to you, because I kind of just dropped off and, you know, took 2 weeks without recording or really even playing. I think I logged in a couple times in that, but I couldn't find the motivation to make a video. But I did scout out places that I would be, you know, moving my base to and whatnot. I did check out the island. I really like the way it looks, all snowy and whatnot. I wish it would stay that way, but I understand it's just a seasonal thing. But the actual reason that I've not been around is something that's kind of hard for me to talk about, because it's actually something that's really, it's something I've dealt with pretty much my entire life, or at least as long as I can remember. And it hits especially hard during the holidays, which is basically around the time that I stopped making videos. You know, it's just right at the start of the holiday hustle and bustle and whatnot. So I really don't have any family. I don't even live in the same state as what family I do have anymore. I don't talk to anybody, and a big part of what's going on is that I've suffered from like actual clinical depression my entire life. I've never taken any kind of medication for it or anything like that, because it always kind of seems to clear itself up after a while. But this year was a little bit worse than usual, and to be honest, all I really did was, you know, just play games. I didn't bother with recording. I didn't go anywhere. I didn't really, I mean, I'd go to sleep late, wake up late, go to work. I was late for work several times, and the thing about depression is that a lot of people don't fully understand what it means. I think that if you don't suffer depression and you don't, you know a lot about it, a lot of times people just assume that someone who's depressed is sad. That's not exactly the case. Like, I don't necessarily have anything to be sad about. That's not where it comes from. Depression is just something, I guess, I don't know. It's the reason that medication works for it, or, you know, maybe it doesn't work. I don't know. There's a lot of back and forth on whether or not depression can be like cured or curbed by medication. Um, I'm getting off the point here. The point is that depression does a lot of weird things to you. Some of it's physical, some of it, a lot of it is mental. And what's really kept me from making videos and being around is just motivation. Like, that's one of the things that it does, is it saps motivation. I would wake up and not want to get out of bed and basically just go back to sleep and sleep the entire day away. And like, one of the physical things that I noted that depression kind of does is headaches. I went an entire week straight with an excruciating, crippling headache that was a big reason why I didn't want to get out of bed. And I'd only get out of bed to, go to work or, play a little bit of a video game and then decide that it was just too much and stop. But it really put a hamper on my creative ability and my actual, just want to do anything, And I feel bad for that, and that's another thing, is that, these things happen and you feel this way, and, maybe you have headaches, or maybe you're sick all the time, because that's another thing. But then you don't do anything, and then it makes you feel bad for not doing it. So, this entire 2-week period that I haven't been making video games, I've actually felt, guilty, I guess, because you feel like you're letting people down, but you don't want to talk about it. I'm actually, it's really hard for me to even talk about this to, my viewers here, who probably don't even know me at all outside of just the videos that I make. And, why should I care if you guys think that I'm crazy or whatever? But I do, and that's the rub of it. So it's really, really difficult for me to get into, let's say I start making a video and it's particularly bad that day, and you can't just, put it aside. So I wouldn't sound like I was into the game, I wouldn't sound like I was into what I was doing, and you guys would notice that, and it wouldn't be fair to you. So I decided to just wait it out. And it's better. I mean, I feel better, but it's just, it's rough, guys. I don't know. It's really hard to explain, because I feel like if I could explain it, then I would know what the problem is and I'd be able to fix it. But that's just not how it works. So while I was gone, not making videos, realized that I really wanted to, but I couldn't. But I think that I'm okay now, so I'm gonna try and get back into it. Now, before it was, daily content, I'm gonna try and do that, guys, because that's my goal for this. The whole YouTube thing in general is daily content, having fun, playing video games, having you guys, not necessarily watch me play, but, I've always done my videos like you guys were sitting on the couch with me and we were just hanging out and being bros. Oh, look at that. Look at that. It's only level 16. I know that Josh from Gaming After Work has been looking for a Quetzal. I don't know if he's got one yet, because like I said, it's been a while, but I figured that would have been cool. Oh, one thing that I am going to have to show you guys, at least toward the end of this video, is some of the Christmas festivities that happened while I was gone. But even while I was gone, the 2 weeks that I was gone, my subscriber count was slowly going up. So, that I know that people are still interested in what I'm doing here. So there's absolutely no way that I could stop doing it, even if I wanted to. I don't want to, I love doing this, and I'm going to be doing this for a while. It's just kind of my thing. But the fact that I was still getting subscribers while I was not making content showed me that, people do like this. And I'm not necessarily saying, people love me, but they love Let's Plays. And I love Let's Plays. I watched a ridiculous amount while I was gone. That's my form of entertainment. It's playing video games and YouTube. So I did want to get on here, and I don't know how long this video is going to be now. I know I said it was going to be short, but I wanted to explain myself, I guess, and I hope that everybody is cool with that and understands. And you know, I've seen that you guys, you're okay with me playing video games and watching it, so I'm gonna keep doing it, and that really means a lot to me. And I'm glad that you guys, were continuing to subscribe and watch videos and stuff like that. So that really gives me a little bit more hope that it's not all for nothing. You know what I mean? And I'm sorry if my voice keeps getting weird. I keep looking over at the recording. For some reason, I've moved my setup around a little bit. My mic is on the other side now, so I look away from it out of habit a lot. I did get a new mic, actually. I used to use the AT2020 USB. Now I'm using the AT2020 XLR, so I got a preamp and all that stuff. And I just set it up right before this video. I think that's still that 16, still in the same area. I might kill him so that something else spawns. But I've got a new setup going. I actually started playing Star Citizen as well, and right before I logged on this game to make this video, I was trying to make a damn Star Citizen video, but I am having a hell of a time. I've spent hours trying to just make one video until I finally just gave up, because there's so many, it's in pre-alpha, so there's crashes and disconnects and just weird glitches and bugs that keep happening. So I was like, I'm done. I'm going to play Ark. But maybe, if you're interested in that type of game, look forward to some Star Citizen, because I'll be playing that. During these 2 weeks that I was gone, I did play a lot more Final Fantasy 14. I know that some of you might know that I run a free company on Final Fantasy 14. I've played it since beta, and right before I stopped making videos for a while, a lot of the people in my free company told me that they kind of miss having me around. I haven't been around a whole lot, so I started playing that a little bit more. Some new stuff came out, and that's kind of been keeping me on there. I'm probably going to be doing some Final Fantasy 14 content as well. I got a really cool idea, and I'm just working on branding and stuff for that. So maybe if you're into that, you can check that out too. I know I'm not trying to sit here and pimp out other stuff, because I want you guys to know that I'll still be doing art content. I still love doing art content, but I don't know, it's just something that I don't get to talk about to a lot of people. So I'm just throwing that out there. And if you want to watch it, that's cool. If you don't, that's totally cool too. I mean, I don't know when I'm going to get around to it, because there's a lot I have to do for that, because it's going to be more of a scripted, higher production value type of thing. And it's not to say that I don't try to put a lot of high production values in this, but this content is just a little bit, I know I've just been flying around, and that's how I get when I'm talking, but I think I'm going to change up a little bit of how I do Ark videos as well. Instead of just doing a taming video now and then, or a building video, everybody does those videos, and I'd like you guys to come to this channel and watch these videos, because it's something that is interesting and you enjoy. And I think that if you wanted to see taming videos, you could go to anyone and get that. So I'll be figuring that out within the next couple days, and hopefully pumping the content out like I used to. And I'm excited to get back into it, and I'm really glad that it doesn't seem like people were abandoning me while I was gone, and that's cool, and I appreciate that. So before I get all ridiculously sappy, I'm going to go ahead and tell you that that's about all the time I've got for this one. And if you like this video, go ahead and hit that like button. If you want to see more videos of Ark, or any of the videos that I've done, especially the 2 things that I said that I'm going to be starting, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on anything. I did forget to talk about the Fallout 4 series that I started. I put up a trailer, which was the last upload, I believe, before I went on my hiatus. That is not something that's going to be a regular occurrence. That's going to take a lot of work. So, I mean, I haven't even started on the first episode for that one, because I've got to write scripts and set up things in the game the way I need them so that I can make those videos. But maybe take a look at those. It's called The Sentinel. It's going to be pretty cool. At least I think it's going to be pretty cool. But if you have anything to say, guys, throw it down in the comments. Realize that even though I talked about how I've been suffering with... yeah, sorry about that. Anyway, even though I said that, you know, I've been going through some shit and it was, you know, sapping motivation and actually just kind of being terrible, don't worry about it. I'm fine, or at least as fine as I'm going to be. It's not something that's new to me. I've dealt with it my entire life. And sometimes, you know, it's a fight, guys. It's a battle that goes on every day, and sometimes you lose, and when you lose you have to recuperate so that you can get back into the battle, you know what I mean? Anyway, remember guys, my name is Restless Corpse. Thank you so much for watching. I do really appreciate you guys, and I'll see you in the next video.